Question 22. In July, Miss Alott received a statement for her credit card account. The account has no interest-free period. Simple interest is calculated and charged to her account on the statement date. What is the minimum payment due on this account? The question is asking us to find the minimum payment due on this account. Let's analyse this statement in more detail. This line here gives us how to work out the minimum payment due. Now it's either $25 or 5% of the closing balance, whichever is the larger. Now if it happens that 5% of the closing balance is less than $25, then the minimum payment due will be $25, since $25 would be the larger of the two. But in order to work that out, we need to find 5% of the closing balance. Now the closing balance would have been in this box here, but there's a question mark, so we need to work that out. But in order to work out the closing balance, we need to work out the interest charged on this purchase. So the interest charged plus the purchase price gives us the closing balance. Now we also know that simple interest is calculated and charged to the account. So in order to work out the interest charged, we can use the simple interest or the flat rate interest formula, which is I equals P times R times N, where P is the principal, R is the interest rate per period, and N is the number of periods. And it just so happens that we're going to measure the periods in days. So to work out the interest, we need the principal, which corresponds to the purchase price. So P is equal to $1,721.50. Now the interest rate per day is given here in the statement, which is 0.0521% per day. And that's written here. And N represents the number of days from the purchase date to the statement date. And that includes the date of purchase. So the 29th of June to the 23rd of July is 25 days. So we have the 29th and the 30th of June, so that's 2 days in June, plus the 23 days in July. So 2 plus 23 is equal to 25, and that gives us N equals 25. So the interest is found by multiplying these three values together. So 1,721.50 times 0.0521% times 25 equals $22.42, correct to the nearest cent. So the closing balance is found by taking the interest and then adding it to the purchase price. So 1,721.50 plus 22.42 equals $1,743.92. And 5% of the closing balance is found by taking this value and timesing it by 5%. So 5% times 1,743.92 equals 87.196, and rounding that to the nearest cent, that's $87.20, which happens to be greater than $25. Therefore, the correct answer is option D.